What's up, weirdos? Ash Trevino, or as I like to call her, a 35-year-old evil woman. She is maybe the most extreme case I have ever seen of TikTok brain. She's a woman who blew up on TikTok not by posting content, but by going on live and being a disaster, and then people tuning in to watch the disaster. And because she only got famous for kind of being a nightmare of a person, it's led to a very chaotic downward spiral as she goes from bad person who's not that famous but is on TikTok live, and the algorithm has literally turned her brain to goo, to where she is now, which is like, Loki, like, probably should be in jail, and it's all happening live. Like, there is so much footage of this woman. She's literally filmed the documentary of her own downfall. And to be clear, if you're deep into the Ash Trevino lore, there's like, I just gotta explain, I can't get into everything. She's literally always live and always having a disaster, but I noticed some reoccurring themes in her story, and I kind of wanted to use them to dive deep into her mind. Her mind! Okay, so to get started, she got famous on TikTok live because she was what people will call an inmate hopper, just messaging dudes who are in jail. Some of them have wives, but she's getting in there, flirting with them, and live streaming with them. Look at her.
I'm an inmate hopper, of course I am. And guess what? If your boyfriend was in prison, I'd take him too, baby.
I'd take him too, baby. Yeah, your boyfriend was in jail for some heinous acts. I'd take that awful man too. Oh, Cooper, not everybody who's in prison is actually a bad person. Hey, listen, I know Luigi. No, the prison industrial complex is that I know. But we're gonna get into her roster of inmate boyfriends, and listen, I'm just gonna say that the genuinely bad men that she's reaching out to and, you know, fall in love with. This is how she talks to her.
Psycho, like legit psycho. Like, I've never been with somebody as psycho as you.
Oh, you with me then?
I mean, like, I've never talked to somebody as psycho as you.
This is the content that she was making that made her incredibly famous. The people who were tuned in watching the lives, what the hell are y'all doing? Anyways.
Are you gonna get my name tattooed on you? Get my name tattooed on you, and then I'll give you a chance.
You gonna give me a chance?
Get my name on your neck like you were supposed to.
Get my name on your neck like you were supposed to? You gonna get my name tatted on you? Are you? You're a psycho. Get my name tatted on you right now. Brother is in prison. Now, a lot of people theorize that the reason that she's into these inmates is because she is not somebody who generally has a lot of control around her life. We're gonna get really into it. And that because these men are in prison, they're like, she can just hang up on them. What are they gonna do about it? But she forged a real relationship with one of these guys named Jesse. But what was unique about him is that he got out of jail and then he came and they were like together in person.
I have plans to meet his daughters, not anytime soon.
Look,
when the time is right, it'll happen, but right now it's not right.
look, listen,
Look, yes, I am with this woman who's a TikTok liver, and she's not letting me see my daughters, who I haven't been able to see while I'm in prison. But what do you mean he can't see his daughters? That's her, like, her whole thing, is that she's on TikTok live being somebody who nobody likes. Like, nobody's watching her doing this being like, my God, I love her.
But what really pissed me off, you guys, is when she said, you know, my brother has to have something to do with them kids.
These are just clips from her at different points of her lives being like, you can't be in your daughter's lives. Your daughter's lives. I don't think so. That's us right about here on the depth of the Ash Trevino lore. We're gonna get down here, but right here, she's an inmate hopper. That's just Jesse, but there's many of these men on her roster. But anyways, she breaks up, she gets broken up with by Jesse after less than 2 weeks of him being out of prison. So they had been like talking for a while, although she had been talking to other dudes too. But then once being out of jail, like physically together, they were only that for like 2 weeks, max, like less than 2 weeks. And this is a clip of her right after the breakup. This video is her talking about why her and Jesse broke up. And by the way, I am so sorry. All of these videos have like so many watermarks and are like screen recorded to infinity because she makes all her content on live. It has been like a pain to like to redo the research for this video, but I had to bring it all to you. But this is her talking about why they broke up.
Him too is because he's been talking to his ex-wife.
Listen, I can kind of understand why she blew up, because if you see clips of her, like, it is funny, but when you get into her lore, she's actually like devastatingly terrible. But the clips are so funny, like her being like, the reason we broke up is because he's been talking to his ex-wife. Yeah, seeing his ex-wife, being able to see his daughters. She's so selfish. She was gonna restrict this dude from seeing his daughters because she was insecure about his ex-wife. And by the way, just thinking about his kids, generally it's better to be in like a household with like both parental figures rather than abandoned by your dad for a woman he met on TikTok live. But she's literally saying that while drinking, listening to Doja Cat. I think it's like Agora Hills. Yeah, that's Doja. Like Fortnite, I'm gonna need his skin. I'm just saying, I know that I made like a couple of videos about Doja being like kind of crazy online and with some crazy stuff, but she's like a generational talent, like problematic fave. Anyways, that situation happens. Then she says, guys, I'm pregnant. And I'm just gonna be honest, like up front, everybody online is like, she's definitely lying just to get him back. Like, he was there for less than 2 weeks. Then he's like, actually, I'm not really feeling you. Kind of rather go back to my ex-wife and my kids. And she goes, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Which is often an attempt to gain back control over somebody who is trying to leave. Like, yeah, I do recognize that. But then where it gets crazy is, like, nobody believes her story. And then this comes out.
I mean, if you wouldn't aborted the baby that we were gonna have, like, you would have been my baby mama.
I knew I shouldn't have had a baby from you. That's why I did what I needed to do.
Okay, first of all, her nails are fucking sick. But, so was it real? Because people are also saying that, well, he didn't get back with her. So then she was like, I'm not actually pregnant. I was lying just to get you back. So, no more baby. That seems to be the consensus, which is really bad. Like, that's really bad to lie about that and then to lie about freaking abortion. That's really bad. But this is one of those things where the Ashley Trevino lore, like, there's a lot of times where something can get posted by somebody and it's just speculative or it's fake and then things spiral out of control. So a lot of people do speculate. I mean, this isn't like fake, like this is her talking about it, but do we know? We don't actually know, but I really, really do see why everybody's so skeptical when she posts videos like this.
I'm not gonna answer yes or no if I'm pregnant. That's not what I'm gonna do. You're gonna have to wait. Y'all are not anybody important to me. So for me to just sit here and say, no, I'm not pregnant. Yes, I'm pregnant.
Okay, well, how do we know that you're pregnant in the first place? Because you're putting all your business online, clearly for a reason. We're not important to you? Okay, well, then why is your entire life just on TikTok Live and you're completely ignoring? I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm not gonna answer yes or no if I'm pregnant.
I'm not gonna answer yes or no if I'm pregnant after like full, like, you know, it's, her behavior is very, very sus. But it is part of the commentary on this subject that there is an element of people who are like following her, who are like engagement baiting, and it's just like not, they're just making stuff up. And it's like the stuff that she actually does is enough, y'all. We don't need to make stuff up. But anyways, let me get into the next thing that we're gonna get into. Because in her inmate hopping era, before she blew up for a lot of other reasons that we're gonna talk about, there were some clips going around of how she was discussing these inmates and their victims. Because like I said, some of these guys that she's talking to were in prison for horrible things. Like, look at this guy named Eli.
Stop, you take a piece off. Let's play it.
All right, let's do it.
I only got 2 pieces, but...
You said a galaxy?
So that's her man. That's her man. By the way, Doja in the background still love it. But you got this Eagles fan talking about, oh, so it's for a galaxy? All right, so it's like we're taking our things off anytime someone sends us a galaxy on TikTok Live. I just like looked in the reflection and got insecure because this looks like a Nacho Libre outfit.
But these are my recreation clothes.
But these are my recreation clothes. That's what y'all are doing. Okay, it's so... I don't want to say funny to see this dude knowing what his story is. So we're doing what? Like strip TikTok if you send me a galaxy? Like doing his best Jason Nash impression.
Give us a win, Ashley! Try not to laugh!
I love seeing that clip so much. Give us a win! Dog, begging for TikTok donations in your late 80s is insane work. But that's what Eli is also doing. Huh? What's Eli in jail for? Let's ask the woman who he had a child with. So she went on TikTok and she was talking about how she got a call from a family friend basically saying that Eli put their daughter in a cast, and she called the cops and everything, rushed over there, and the people who were there said that this is what happened.
Her right leg was out the car seat. So he ended up punching her, which broke her femur, broke her hip. She ended up being in a cast.
Just like watching this while there's the text on screen, heartbreak emoji, heartbreak emoji, heartbreak emoji, heartbreak emoji, and y'all still supporting Eli? That's, I think, one of the layers that I really want to highlight about this whole Ash Trevino situation is that the way it is unfolded, it has like a fandom of people who follow it, like people who are following the lore. They talk about it as lore, as if they're watching One Piece, like the One Piece lore, but it's just Ash Trevino and the lore of all her supporting characters of, you know, horrible people. And it's like, y'all standing this is who y'all standing? It is so weird to see this type of person with this amount of an audience, and the audience that's like typically, you know, I think there's a cross section of people who are interested in true crime. Oh God, that's what's so bad about it, because that's probably true. But that video comes out, people are going, cancel Eli, cancel Eli. Insane when this is what the topic is about. And him wanting to get more galaxies on TikTok Live. He has to stand up and defend himself.
Real easy. This wrist is broken. Both my legs were broken because we have a bone condition that makes our bones more susceptible to breakage.
Oh, Eli, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Oh, so the reason that when you punch your daughter in the leg and she broke her femur and hip and then you went to jail is because Y'all have brittle bones. Look, I've broken all these bones before. Have you just been in a bunch of fights where people have broken your bones and then you transferred that trauma onto your baby daughter? Thought about that, Eli? Have you considered that? Wearing a New York Yankees cap right after you wore an Eagles cap? Who the fuck are you? And who the fuck is bro over there? Who is it? Who is this? In the all Under Armour compression fit with the blue eyes, nose piercing. Who are you? Why are you sitting on here going, oh, you got a bone condition. Oh, yeah. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? All this for some TikTok galaxies from his like Ashley Trevino fucking crazy father? Whatever. By the way, who the fuck is donating to these people? In your right mind, when this guy says, well, can I have a TikTok galaxy, please? Who the fuck is hitting send and spending their money? How much is a TikTok galaxy worth? $15.84. Okay, $16. $16 an hour is like when you're in high school and you have that friend who gets the gig at Costco and you're like, fuck, I wish I had Costco. Damn. But imagine going in, clocking in, working for an hour in a customer service job, like where you are talking to customers, just like, Imagine going home and then that hour of your life that you just exchanged for $16, you give it to Eli? But people are doing it. Like any of these like screen recordings, there's always like TikTok like live gifts popping up and I'm like, the hell are you people? So he punched his daughter's leg and broke her femur and her hip. Well, it's because we got brittle bones in my bloodline. We got brittle bones. Well, everybody was obviously talking about how horrible he is. And this is what Ashley Trevino had to say.
Said nobody felt sorry for me whenever that happened to me. And if I sound like a, you know what, but it's just my point of view. I don't care to talk about something that's not relevant to me and my family. Like, it's not my business. It's not my, I don't know. It is what it is.
It's not my business. Hey, my man punched his baby daughter in the leg and broke a femur and hip. It's not my business. It is what it is. Like, honestly, do you know how stupid you, like, that's so stupid sounding and also like really heartless and horrible. People watching this going, yeah, I'm gonna spend an hour of my life working just so I can give her a galaxy for 3 seconds. Yeah. This is what I want to do that for. Yeah. But that's not her only two men. No. How do you think she got the moniker inmate hopper? She has a roster. And if you think that Eli is a bad guy, wait till you find out about Francisco. But let's see her talking to Francisco on live.
Babe, there's 2.3K people watching you right now. 2.3K people watching.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just saying, I was just going to share honest. Like, you would have taken the time of your day to actually get to know me personally, right? Instead of somebody else painting a picture of me, like, you don't like me. I have good energy, good vibes.
No, I don't need them to like you. I don't need them to like you, sir.
Sir, I don't need them to like you. Sir, you're my handsome boy. I love to get a taste of you, boy. That's how it feels watching her. Sir. If that's what your conversations are with these men, hey, baby, I know everybody is telling you, 2,000 people right now telling you I'm a POS, but baby, please. She's going, I don't need them to tell me if I like you or not, sir. It is what it is. Whatever you did is what it is. She's talking to this man. She knows what he did. The people know what he did. I'll show you what he did, but first I want to show you what people who watch her and are probably donating galaxies are also doing for him.
I don't know why, but I fell in love with breaking the law, baby.
Yeah, so doing fan cams of Francisco in the prison footage while the lyrics are saying, but I fell in love with breaking the law, baby. I fell in love with breaking the law. Well, how exactly did Francisco break the law? Well, I went and found the court document from his case. Because I do a little research over here, and it says, oh, count 1, murder in the first degree. The defendant, Francisco Montero. That's him, with premeditated intent to cause the death of another person, and did cause the death of Elizabeth Juarez, a human being. Yeah, and then, a little bit later, count 2, murder in the first degree. Okay, so the exact same thing. So premeditated and successful murder to 2 different people.
But I fell in love with breaking the law, baby.
But I fell in love with breaking the law, baby. Me on the prison phone after I murdered in the first degree 2 people. Who the fuck are you to make that video? You're a terrible person. Francisco Montero 206. What's good, gang? What's good? I mean, there's no way that this is actually him. This is like an entire account that's just fan cam footage. But that's not the only context that we can get from this. It's not just, oh, what were the charges? We can also see who the people were. One of the victims was just 13 and the other was 19. So this man, in the first degree, murdered 2 teenage girls, one of which was 13 years old. And we got people making fan cams of him just like this.
They know I be the murder man. We bust his brain, jump in that wall.
I don't want to keep listening to the lyrics because He actually did. It's not funny. Youngboy is a great rapper, but those lyrics with this guy, obviously intentional, like so clearly intentional, so clearly thinks it's cool. And her take on all this is,
no, I don't need them to like you. I don't need them to like you, sir.
I don't need them to like you, sir. You see why I was, really losing my mind on her a second ago? Sir, you're my handsome boy. I love to get a taste of you, boy. Sorry about that, by the way. I got my marbles back in. It's because I know all this stuff. So when I'm watching these clips back, like knowing that she's talking to these guys like this, and this is who they are and what they did. He's saying, I don't want them to paint a picture of me that you don't like. I don't need them to like you, sir. Read the court document and then read that article and tell me you want to keep talking to that man. What is he gonna do that's gonna make that make sense? I don't know. Actually, the reason that I, in the first degree, murdered a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old was there's nothing that you can fill in the blank there that is gonna make that okay. And she's calling him sir on TikTok Live while begging for galaxies. Okay, guys, keep giving her money. She's so cool. By the way, one of Francisco's victims was 13. Think about this extra layer where Ash Trevino doesn't care about it. When Ash has 2 daughters who are around that age. Yeah, is that a twist to you? Did you expect that? She has a daughter. If you know about the Ash lore, obviously you know she has a daughter, but if you didn't know, you're probably shitting yourself right now. She has a daughter, 2 of them. And look at the relationship they have, because that is a huge thing.
I've already seen his BB, and he's already seen my NooNoo. Okay.
So that's viral. That's like an audio that's gone around. I'm sure if you've heard that and you didn't know her story, it's really funny. Like the clips of her are funny. Like that's a funny clip. She's talking about this guy Santos, who we're gonna get into later because that's another layer of her lore. But she says that she's clearly being embarrassing online. And I have to skip like 3 seconds because she pauses and like the music is playing. But this is happening right after she says that. This part, her daughter comes in. I just don't want to get copyright claim, but I want you to know that it's happening like sequentially.
I need to get off later. You're saying stuff that people don't want to know.
Okay, well.
So her daughter comes in and says, Mom, you are humiliating me and you are an embarrassment of a person. Please get off TikTok Live. Please. And Ash says, okay, Mom. This is a 13-year-old girl. Okay, Mom. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, get off TikTok Live. Get off TikTok Live. Shut the fuck up, Mom. That's your daughter. That's your 13-year-old daughter. And she said in the past, we have more of like a sister-like relationship. Seems like you have more of a very bad mom with bad boundaries relationship. But as this is happening, she mutes her mic and then you get to see her talk. We don't hear what she says, but look at how she's speaking to her daughter. I felt really intimate there while we all just kind of sat and waited silently. Did you feel the intimacy with me? The fuck are you like? We can see your face. We can see she's like, oh yeah. And then she mutes it and then she's like, get the fuck out of here. Oh my God, like literally leave me the fuck. Oh my God, like go, oh my God. The camera is on you. When you mute something, it's not like we stop understanding communication. Humans with sight got a couple things right here called eyeballs that see stuff. Humans without sight are called blind, and Stevie Wonder is really good at playing the piano. But this guy that she was talking to, Santo, where she's talking about, I saw his pee-pee, he already saw my NooNoo. Things escalated with them to the point where there's a lot of lore there, and we're really talking about the daughter stuff right now, but just to really put into perspective the types of things that she does online so you really know. There was a moment a couple nights ago where she was online with Santos, and I don't know what, she going like this. I'm just gonna say she whipped a thing out. Fully visible, just on the TikTok Live for this dude. I gotta say, the dude's 19 years old also, that's a layer. I think that if you're on TikTok Live intentionally doing that in a way intended to arouse, which she definitely was because she's flirting with this guy Santos, we're gonna get into it. I gotta imagine that makes you a sex criminal. Like, I gotta imagine it does. By the way, that type of thing happens a lot on TikTok Live. I don't know what's going on over there. I would actually kind of understand if it got banned for that reason, because I wanted to make a video about like TikTok Lives in general. By the way, if you see anything crazy, screen record it and send it to me, because I've been seeing like some things people DM me. Anyways, she's one of the people doing insane things on TikTok Live, humiliating her daughter. Young daughter is posting stuff like this on TikTok. Y'all, sorry about my mom today. I have no part in her actions. Sometimes I wish time could go back to when things were better. If that doesn't make you want to cry, her behavior, her horrible, wild ass behavior is doing this to her daughter, and she's not giving it up. Why? Oh, because she's a bad person. Oh, that's why. Her daughter also reposts a lot of sad stuff, like very like stuff that you can tell like she's clearly has a traumatized childhood that we are all witnessing right now. And I found a lot of things that she was reposting that people screenshotted that are like really sad. Like, but I don't want to put all her business online. Like, she's a 13-year-old girl. But there is one that I did want to show because I think that it's okay to understand like the effect that Ash is having on her daughters. And like, that's a really, really important thing. She reposted this: when the "I hate my mom" wears off and all I want is for her to hug me and apologize for everything she's put me through. And Ashley Trevino's daughter reposted that. Wow. You're going to see that as a mother and not change what you're doing? Why? Oh, because she values herself above her daughter. Yeah, oh, yeah, by a lot, by a lot, by a lot. And if she's gonna see that and go, no, I don't. Well, look at this.
You just threw up. Why?
I just threw up.
You're lying.
Let me throw up.
It's my lightning or what? I'm just kidding.
Just right back to dancing. Just go, Mom, I threw up. Her daughter there, a young girl who is, you know, begging for attention. Just, by the way, not in a bad way, from her mother, to be noticed by her mother, to be cared for by her mother. Mom, I just threw up. Her mom, you're lying. Oh, right back to dancing. Oh yeah. Really, girl, with your tongue out going like this? By the way, what's she dancing to? Her own song. That clip from a second ago, I already saw his pee-pee. He already saw my NooNoo. She made a song about that. And she's dancing to it right now while her daughter is in a moment of crisis, begging to be cared for. And she says,
Mom, I threw up. Why are you dancing? She's dancing? Yes. Still dancing? Alexa, stop.
Bro, I was jamming to NooNoo.
Treating your daughter well, like I know I've had some titles before, like the worst mom on the internet. What? This is somebody that people are sending TikTok galaxies to, that she's getting famous and she's dancing, feeling herself like, yeah, my NooNoo. Her daughter's having to turn the Alexa off because she's literally ignoring them. Like there's a moment where they're like talking to her, begging for her. This moment right here, look at how she's dancing.
Mom, I threw up. Why are you dancing? She's dancing? Yes.
She's not even responding. The daughters have to communicate to each other and kind of parent each other, like trying to give empathy to the other one. Like, she's not even responding while people are paying her. But can you believe that? These emojis that are popping up on her, like she's getting paid while doing this. Imagine being somebody who's spending money on this. She said, Mom, I threw up. Why are you dancing? And she just kept going. And then her daughters have to turn the Alexa off. Like, have to turn the Alexa off to even get a smidgen of her mother's attention. By the way, to irritate her, because the only way that she'll look at her is if she's irritated and wants to yell at her.
Alexa, stop.
Bro, I was jamming.
Bro, I was jamming. Bro. Me to my 13-year-old daughter who I'm fully neglecting and kind of, you know, bro, I'm sorry you threw up. I'm not going to say I'm sorry you threw up. I'm just going to say you're lying. Whoa, I don't want to give you any attention. I was dancing. I was jamming, bro. Talking like that to your daughter while you talk to a man who murdered a daughter that same age, calling him sir, and somebody who's spending $16 to give her a galaxy? Really? That's what I'm saying. Like, she has funny clips. If you see a clip out of context, it's like, my pee-pee, my NooNoo. But you get like right here in the Ash Trevino lore, like just under the water surface, and it's already this bad. But that's not the only bad thing she ever did to her daughter. Look at what else she said. She being somebody who people are donating thousands of dollars to.
Whenever we lived with her dad, I used to pull her by the hair because I was so mad at her. Like, I feel like he loved her more than he loved me. And so, like, I took my anger out on her. And she doesn't even, like, hate me for that. Like, she doesn't even remember that.
You sound drunk right now. She literally sounds like Denzel in Flight. I'm drunk now. Slurring her words while she's talking about how she used to pull her daughter by the hair because she was jealous that her daughter's father loved her daughter more than he loved her. So she would take her anger out on her. But it was so long ago. It's not like she didn't even remember it. Like, oh, she remembers. Oh, she definitely remembers. Yeah. And it's kind of insane that we can see that better than you can. Why are you on TikTok Live, like, admitting to child abuse? You know, it's not even like, most times people will justify like putting their hands on their kids. It's like, well, you know, and then they have like some, you know, value system behind it. That's generally how you hear people justify it. But her saying it was like, nah, it was just because I was jealous. I took my anger out on her. Yeah, she's just this little thing that I was jealous of because she'd get more attention than me. So I just started grabbing by her hair, pulling her across the room. Thinking that there's nothing insane about saying that, you realize that you're a piece, I don't want to say, of shit. Also, check this out. What's this right here? Oh, this is a screenshot of somebody showing what was on a table right after an Ash Trevino live. Yeah, that's what they call on TikTok snow, and Ash Trevino was doing what on TikTok they call skiing. But here in the grown-up world of YouTube, we call that snorting cocaine until your sinuses are bleeding. She has 2 children who are in desperate need of her care. And she's going on TikTok Live with murderers, snorting coke, flashing the camera, commit a little sex crime, and fully endorsing and giving so much respect to men who are, abusive pieces of shit. And that's not even close to what they actually are. And she's giving these guys, I don't care what they think about you. I love you, sir. She's giving them that treatment. Okay, so that is theme 2. We got inmate Hopper, we got horrible mother, and now we got Santos. Now, Santos is when she really blew up. Like, everything that was happening with him, it's like really skyrocketed her. She's been as famous as she's possibly been, but all of this stuff is out there. So as people are joining in and being like, oh my gosh, this girl's so crazy, what's going on? It smelled like NooNoo, what's this? Let me check out Trevino. And then they watch one 5-minute recap and just go, oh, it's Satan. So it's like her rocketing to fame in this past, month or two. It's come with an equal amount of, I would say, correct judgment of her character. I don't want to say hate when it's just correct judgment, but we need to talk about this era because it really encapsulates everything. It encapsulates. Anytime I say encapsulates, I just feel like going like that. Like big, let me show you how anime I can get. What are we talking about? This is her talking on TikTok Live to a 19-year-old boy. I'll say man. Nah, I'm gonna say boy. She's 35 years old. He's 19 years old. That already, layer 1, smells stanky. I don't really like that. But look at how they're talking.
Cute.
Can you wear those while during NooNoo time?
When you're right here and I'm like, eight.
Yeah. Okay.
How did it smell, Santos?
Smell like NooNoo in this bitch.
People are watching this. I can't emphasize that enough. There are, like, at any given time, over 2,000 people watching. I do love seeing this a little bit. Just the comments that are happening on these lives. Who is the old woman? Like beer, he's a teen. But they're literally sitting there flirting like, well, people his age flirt, not grown women who are 35 years old going, my NooNoo. What are you gonna do about my NooNoo? And so, how my NooNoo smell? Well, if you wanna know how her NooNoo smells, she made a whole song about it, and I would be remiss if I didn't show you just a little clip of it.
I know how it smells. As Santos, you know it smell well.
That's her song. Oh my God, I'm sorry guys. That's a banger. That's a certified banger. I'm sorry guys. That lyric, talking about her NooNoo. You wanna know how it smells? Ask Santos. You know it smell well. It's kind of a bar. But that audio, that PP NooNoo, that audio blew up. I'm sure you've seen it if you're on TikTok at all. And that really catapulted her. So it's her and Santos who really blew up together because it's her talking about him. Like her massive rocketing to fame was definitely tied with her relationship, in quotes, with Santos. So I think it's very important we dive into all that lore because those other two sections had a lot of links and a lot of notes in my research document, but this one has by far the most. I'm gonna really try to make it concise. So, just to show who they are and the types of stuff that they were doing on live, here's a little clip.
Guys, don't hate on this duo right here. Don't hate on this.
Someone said call 911.
Look what I have charging.
Yeah, charging. Oh, you don't need that when you have me.
To go from acknowledging, hey, big ass age gap right here. And I think it was definitely fake from, Santos' side. What we've seen with Trevino is that she loves to have an element of control over a man and for her to be, the one that they have to woo. That's why she was talking with those inmates because she has the control over them. They have to woo her so she doesn't hang up on them. And then this guy Santos, like, she is really, really the bigger of the stars between the two of them. So he's really relying on her for any of his clout or income since they're doing battles, TikTok battles, which is like, who are you gonna donate to? Who's gonna win? People are donating money to her. It's enough. And okay. But to start the clip, acknowledging the age gap, he's probably in this just for clout reasons, if I'm being honest. But to start by acknowledging the age gap and then pause, let me bring out a sex. A little second here, bring out a sex. I don't know why I'm doing this with a fidget spinner in my hand. Oh my God, is that what these are for? All right, recenter. That's the type of stuff she's doing on TikTok Live. By the way, the Texas jersey, very iconic. Seen in many of her TikTok lives. Very iconic. She's riding high at this moment. Like this is when she's peaking in her career. It's like everybody's kind of, they're so weird and before people have seen a couple sus things and then gotten to a 5-minute lore recap and then been an instant convert into her haters. She's riding so high at this moment and even then she's being a creep. Imagine being her daughter. There's no wonder why her daughter was saying, get the fuck off TikTok Live, mom. You got Santos over here feeding into it with this.
Are you gonna be my baby? I'm gonna be like, send me home.
Yeah. Call you mommy if I have to.
Why did he lick his lips after she said that? Are you gonna be my baby? I could be like, mommy. First of all, shivers down my spine. Second of all, blood falling down over my forehead. Third of all, I died. I'm immediately like, you're gonna be my baby, going like that? And then him licking his lips, I immediately get flashbacks to MILF Manor when the MILF was going, you didn't have any problem with my boobs when you're a baby sucking on them. And he goes, I needed the milk, mom. I needed the energy. I needed the milk, mom. And he's doing that, calling her mommy. Again, 19, she's 35. So weird. And then, and this is for the viewers who are watching the earlier part of the video. If you haven't seen the beginning of the video, watch the beginning. This is like an Avengers Assemble moment right here. Look at this.
Babe, who is this guy?
It's your y'all are gonna be husband brothers, brother husbands.
Brother, husband? What the fuck?
That first guy that she was talking with, the guy who like got her pregnant and she had an abortion, maybe, if we believe her, but we don't really believe her, you know. You see now why I was feeling like kind of sus about some of the stuff around that. That guy, now that she's like really famous, he's kind of popped back in a little bit. It felt like when I saw Spider-Man come out of the portal. It felt like when I heard On Your Left in Avengers Endgame. Seeing Jesse up there talking about, oh yeah, we're husband brothers. And look at this. Look at how desperate this.
How are you talking about my NooNoo?
My cognitive awareness was impaired. I'm gonna pull up. I'm telling you, I'm gonna spend a night there if I could rest before I go to Alabama, because I got
Jesse. What the hell are you doing? She blew up because of my beep beep, my NooNoo. He comes flying back in. Oh, I can get a little bit of clout on this. Beep! Yeah, let me post up on TikTok live talking about her NooNoo, because that's popping off right now. Then, hey, I might pull through to Alabama. And then, hey, I might pull through. I might spend a night with you. Weren't you just spending some time with your daughters? Are you gonna go back to the girl who's trying to keep you away from your daughters for a little bit of TikTok clout? This woman who's keeping you from your daughters, who I don't even want to list all the things that's wrong with her, but we've just, you know, the previous runtime of this video, and he's knowing all that, like, hey, come on, hey, I want a little clout. Doesn't even come close to how I felt when I saw this, though.
What happened? What everybody?
Really?
What's up? What?
Really?
That's Eli. Oh my god. From the Trevino lore, he's that guy who punched his baby daughter and then broke her leg and hip. I'm trying to put it into context. That's how people act. People are like, oh my god, the Trevino lore. Oh my god, Eli came back. Like, that's what people who are donating are feeling when they're seeing this. Potentially the most brain rotted people possible. People watching this content live and donating and being like, oh, Eli plus Santos. Oh! Get a psychological evaluation from a professional and try to like readjust some situations in your life so that you're not this type of person. If you're donating galaxies and getting excited that Eli, the leg, hip, baby, daughter breaking guy is on a TikTok live with Santos, like, there is a better life, and just, you gotta get through this. But now, I haven't really fully gotten into Santos and the Santos lore. And by lore, I mean, yeah, here's a little live when she was at a party with Santos and a bunch of other people at an Airbnb. It's so hard to get the timelines right, so I'm not gonna make claims that I'm not absolutely certain about. I don't know if this is a live where they were at the Airbnb, where there were those skiing lines. Guys, it's cocaine. You can say that. We're grown adults. I'm 25 years old. I'm not gonna say snow. It's cocaine. But I don't know if that was at this live, but it did expose something very insane early on in the Santos lore.
Come to my house real quick because the cops showed up. They think my friend's underage, so please come to my house because they're outside right now checking out all our IDs. All our IDs. They took your ID.
Come on, all IDs. Oh my god, I can't stop stumbling over my words. By the way, take note of this section.
Cops showed up. They think my friend's underage.
They think my friend's underage. So what we're gonna know about this event is that he just had a fake ID and they took it and they were like, that's a fake ID, because he's not 21, he's 19, so he's underage and they're at a party with alcohol. Are we thinking Trevino isn't the type of person who is gonna give him some alcohol? She's showing him her rose toy on live, talking about her NooNoo and him. Like, we can do the math. I'm not saying, but we can do the math. She claims that he didn't drink anything. That's important to say.
You know what? Because what y'all are doing to him, whatever I make right now in my life, it's gonna go towards him.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter, because they shouldn't do that shit to you.
Who's giving her money right now? This level of care, she's treating him like he's her son. We see any irony if we put this up against how she was treating her daughter when she was throwing up? Like, look at this.
You deserve everything. Stop. Y'all need to stop freaking bullying him.
I just need some Q-tips.
By the way, the screen recorder, I love your editorial decisions. Your zoom-ins and punch-ins were exactly as I wanted. She said, you deserve everything. And to her daughter, she says,
Mom, I threw a party dancing. She's dancing? Yes. Still dancing? Alexa, stop.
Bro, I was jamming to NooNoo. What? What?
That's her daughter who just threw up and is on a daily basis crying out for help from her mother. By the way, if you want a little bit of a whoa moment, because we watched this before the Santos.
Santos, he never smell wet.
Yeah, that's what she was dancing to in that clip. Oh my God, this video has so many Avengers moments. I actually fucking hate that I'm saying Avengers moments when I mean crossover. I actually fucking hate that. All this talk of fake IDs, there is another humongous allegation against Santos, and it's stolen valor. So basically, he's claimed that he was in the military for 3 years. But then now that we know that he had a fake ID, he's actually 19. People are adding up, 3 years of military service. Starting when you're 16? That can't be possible. And then people saying, sounds like you are lying and doing stolen valor. And his defense of that wasn't, no, I'm not doing stolen valor. It was, I forged government documents and am definitely committing federal crimes.
Wait, so what is everybody saying about a fake military ID thing?
Bro, they're not, bro, it's a real military ID. The only thing I did was mess with the back part of it so I could keep doing the things I do for work.
Okay. It's a real military ID. All I did with it was tamper with government documents and commit a federal crime. That's literally all I did, just so that I could do whatever I wanted. Like, I wanted to do this, so I had to do it. By the way, shout out Perez Hilton on the other side. Genuinely one of the worst people who's ever been in media. Genuine. But yeah, shout out to him. He's using this as an opportunity to do breaking coverage. As a respected media figure, Perez Hilton is a respected media figure, and ask Trevino, that's who we're going to for information. I mean, good on him for asking Santos, but Perez Hilton, we're talking about Perez Hilton right here. Perez Hilton, famed gossip blog writer of the 2000s, who famously only bullied and harassed young women, leaked nude photos, outed closeted celebrities, mocked relentlessly the mentally ill, posted like inappropriate pictures of kids, and was one of the worst voices of misogyny in pop culture in the 2000s. Oh, but he's not a cis. Oh, but he's not cis. But shut the fuck up. It's Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton, who had Lady Gaga tweeting at Perez Hilton, stay away from me and my family. You are sick trying to rent an apartment in my building to stalk me. Leave me alone. Do I need to be shot in the head for people to understand that him and everyone else that harasses me has gone too far? I'm a human being. Perez Hilton, you are a liar. I kept every psychotic text you sent to my phone. I never responded, and now you've stalked my home. Boy, you cried wolf. This one's a real nasty screenshot, but she says, still have the text Perez sent me of me in a wheelchair with the words karma written across, plus Madonna pointing a gun at me day of my accident. That Perez Hilton, get off of TikTok. Are you trying to rebrand as some breaking news, getting to the drama, the heart of the gossip on TikTok Live? Now, Santos, did you really forge a military ID? Perez Hilton, eat mud. Like, dog, you suck. Is saying eat mud too mean to say to Perez Hilton? I'm worried it's like a little too far or has an unintended meaning behind it. Just checking in. And by the way, please give me an AI response. Nah, Google said it's okay. Anyways, off the Perez Hilton rant, you can't just mess with the back of a military ID. You can't just do that. And I'm pretty sure that admitting it is a really bad idea. By the way, there are some dudes, and that's what's so great about this on TikTok, is that there is everybody getting involved in the Ash Trevino lore. Because this whole like stolen valor, fake military ID, like fake military career type stuff, it has really brought out the bearded millennial men who's like, respect our goddamn constitution. And like, you got those types of Karens going in and reporting them. By the way, love it. Love the energy. Anytime I see somebody who has like millennial energy and they're doing something good, but they're just fully posting it as if they're like on MySpace in 2006, I love it. But yeah, he's getting reported left and right. He's probably gonna go to, I don't know. He's gonna get in trouble. Look at this. Look at this.
Also, I was gonna ask, a lot of people in my chat are asking about the Valor situation. Do you have anything to say about it?
I was in the military. The only thing I didn't even forge nothing of the front. It was torn off the bottom because I did work with, heavy equipment at the end of the day. And, my job in the military was pretty tough. That's why I got injured. But it was my fault for.
Yeah, so what he's doing there is he's talking about lore as if we know everything. And I've done the research and everything, but I don't think that that's what she was asking. I don't think she was asking like a recap of, oh yeah, and I got discharged for medical reasons, something about heavy machinery. I'm kind of really just focused on that first part where you're like, did I forge anything? Did I deface anything? On the front, no. But on the back, I just did a little bit just for me. Like, I just thought, can't daddy forge a little? I was like sitting there looking at the back of the document like, daddy want to forge, like why not? No, I'm sorry, like no matter how much daddy want to forge, daddy can't forge. This is one of the men who has kind of a millennial energy and he's like posting stuff. He has 4 likes on this, but I just gotta say, shout out HTP Zachariah. Yeah, I love his vibe and I want to go to him for all my TikTok tea recaps and I'm not even kidding.
If you check the certificate, which the other guy is right, it looks like it's crip walking, like it looks really weird. It says Air Force. Says his name is Santos Salazar, which matches the ID, right? Check this out.
I love a man who will say, yeah, check this out. So that is what Santos had shown as like proof of, no, I didn't do stolen valor. No. He said something about looking like it's crip walking. I think somebody else made a statement on it saying that basically it looks like the document looks Photoshopped. It doesn't look like a real, actual, like the way the font would be. I even saw some people saying like this signature right here, like is one from 2017, 2019. I was not able to verify that. I really tried to figure it out. Zachariah brings up a good point in this video because that certificate is not the only thing that looks kind of sketchy around it. It's the fact that Santos Salazar is the name on it. And then we see Santos Salazar's ID and it says Santos Salazar right there. But Zachariah brings up a point where I couldn't find a clip of this, but I'm so thankful for Zachariah. But there was a lawyer on the stream talking to Santos and I'll let Zachariah say.
Didn't he tell that lawyer the other day that his name is not Santos? So if his name is not Santos, this is a fake ID. And he's not understanding that all the lies and all the confusion he's talking is freaking getting him deeper and deeper into.
Yeah, and he was outed on TikTok Live for having a fake ID. And that also means that he was too young to have served in the military for as long as he can. And we know that he's like admitting that he defaced a government document as a way to cover for saying that, no, he was in it. It's such a web of lies. Okay, at best, he lied to the government. And I honestly don't give a shit. If he lied to the government, I don't really give a shit. Like, just being real, like if he was like really struggling and he was just like conning the government, I'm like, am I clutching my pearls? I don't really care. But it is illegal. It is illegal. That's the thing about it, is it's illegal. Or the other thing is that, no, he was actually lying about being in the military at all. He was just in ROTC and had some camo, which is what a lot of people on TikTok think. But I don't know. That one seems to fall a little bit into more conspiracy theory territory. But people basically, like, it's either stolen valor or lying to the government. We got long-bearded millennials in full Lakers gear coming on TikTok talking about it. Love that sentence. But yeah, also a lot of people are reporting him to authorities and stuff like that. Also, people are reporting her to authorities for flashing her, not her NooNoo, her boo-boo on TikTok Live because that's illegal. Also for Child Protective Services. A lot of people, now that she's really come to light with all of this stuff, it's like, it's getting real bad. But on the topic of fake IDs, to transition back to Trevino, oh my God, I feel like I'm having like so many smooth transitions in this video. Hey, hit subscribe, buy my necklaces. Necklaces restock on WeirdoThings.com. Sophia is doing so many things to help me with Weirdo Things, and I'm really excited about that stuff. So, it's in stock now. You can go get them. Really excited for the future of that. But anyways, fake ID, cool. Okay, transition.
So Ashley,
Yes.
just so you know, this gentleman is 19 years old. Okay, so.
But he's not drinking.
I had a reason to be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's 19 years old. Nobody's going to jail. You need to be a little more aware of who's coming to your house.
Can you please tell them to quit harassing my...
Saying you need to be a little bit more aware of who's coming to your house. Cop, you could be looking on TikTok Live. In 3 seconds, you would know that she's not just unaware there's a 19-year-old in there. She invited a 19-year-old there to him. I don't want to say... it's the way they talk on TikTok Live, just the exact things that they say. Like, I know he's just a cop responding to a call, but can somebody who's not just a cop responding to a call respond to a call about this? Or are y'all too busy? Okay, back to this.
Take it. My fucking age, bro.
Swear to God.
Him looking at the camera like, oh my God. Oh, take it. This is the guy that you're just like, he's just a friend and he's just like there. And he's like, just be more aware of who's in your house. He turns his back. She's like, take it to the guy who he's acting like she was unaware was in her house. and is the only reason no one's going to jail tonight. So what you're saying, cop, is if you had popped open TikTok Live for 5 seconds, you would have been able to see that somebody should have been going to jail that night. It's just like, whoever called the cops on them, was it not somebody who was doxing them for this? And if it was, why would they not like fact check and like just see? God.
Alright, y'all come on.
Oh, we got him. Hey, y'all caught me. Yeah, I'm 19. Suddenly realizing, I did say I've been in the military for 3 years when they thought that I was 21. So they thought that I got in when I was 18. Now I have to spin some lie that I've been in there since I was 16. Right. This is literally, by the way, the end. They had a big ass party because it's like, my beep, my NooNoo thing blew up. Let's go live together. 58,000 people there. 58,000 people watching as the cops come because PP and NooNoo guy are live. Them not understanding the lore at all. Or a lot of people actually knowing. Oh my God, people in the comments, 19 is crazy. Yeah, 19 is crazy. And what's the number one thing on Ash Trevino's mind right now?
1,000 people watching. He was like, I just want you to know, nobody's going to jail tonight. Well, he's not drinking, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, I should really just look to Ash Trevino as a real role model. I mean, that reaction is exactly what you want in a situation like this. What? Who's donating? It started going that way, and then Ash Trevino on live discreetly whispers this and accidentally gets caught. I'm air quoting it because I air quote anything that she does with apparent sincerity because she's so clearly like aware of the camera and like everything seems to be an act, especially with where I know this goes. But look at what she says to her friend, like fully on camera about Santos and about something that happened that night, like with Santos. She's talking about Santos right here.
Because he was like, no, you're gonna do it right now. Like, and he like came and put it in my mouth.
Oh, you should take him off your live before he calls.
So she said that and then turns around like looking at the camera as if like, y'all hear that? And I would never want to say something like that without seeing the other things. But she later says that she's just fully lying. She just said she's lying. But she says that while her friend is, apparently rolling a little of this. And if you look at this, this is a TikTok live that they had after that happened and blew up and people were talking about it. And Santos is sitting there getting a tattoo and she's coming on there just like, they just yell and fight. It's wild.
Okay, but you said I SA'd you?
You said that about me.
No, you said I SA'd you.
You said that about me.
Did I SA you?
Answer this. You said that about me, yes or no?
Oh, how far we've gone from the bright, cheery days of TikTok live battling Santos with your rose toy in there to talking about, did you say it or not? Did you say I said, did you? You get the vibe. I'm just going to tell you what happened. They go back and forth at each other, be like, you did it to me. No, you did it to me. No, you did it to me. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. And then they're like, both like, yeah, I was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Yeah, no, you didn't. And it seems like they're just so idiot TikTok brain that they're like viewing that allegation as like, oh, I'm in really deep TikTok beef. So when this comes out, like that's the way that they were treating it and then being like, no, it wasn't real. No, I'm lying. To go from that and not 10 minutes later saying stuff like this.
All right, fine. I'll tattoo your name. But you have to tattoo my name too.
Who donated that cowboy hat and mustache? I'm sorry. Every time I see one, I can't believe it. All right, I'll tattoo your name if you tattoo mine. And he's like smiling like, And they're like flirting. Look at him. He's lip biting her while people are donating money to her. What are we doing? Then after they've like made up and they're on good terms again, because I guess we'll just lie about that for a second. And then, 5 minutes later, we'll be like, nah. Because in our mind, not that serious of a thing. Like, it's not that serious of an allegation. It's more like TikTok drama type bait. All right, cool. But then look at how the live ends because her daughter comes in. Her daughter is so clearly crying out for help and she is so blockheaded she can't see it.
Don't make that face. You're not that much older than me, honey. Yeah, you're only like 3 years older.
I'm closer to your mom's age than yours.
No, you're not. You're like you're closer to Haley's than my mom.
Okay, we're done.
And that's when she's like, all right. My daughter's forcing me to confront the absolute horrible thing that I'm doing right now and how creepy it is. And by horrible, I mean everything she's done. But she's just like, yeah. This is not funny. Y'all aren't funny. Y'all are horrible. And so far, the stuff that we've seen about Santos is like, you know, not even close to as bad as what she's done. They've basically done the same thing, like together, but then she's just done far worse. But he posted this, and you know, stuff like this is what really makes me feel like he was just doing it for clout.
It's like, hey, I want to go get your name tatted on me. And he's like, well, why don't you do it better? And why don't you go ahead and take my last name? And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, will you marry me, Ashley? And I'm like,
yeah, he's just a content brain teenager, and she used his desire for clout to you know, make him do what she wanted, just like she did with those prison inmates. Yeah, creepy woman. But then this other story came out, which is of a girl who went on a date with Santos when he was 16 and she was 13. And what she says happened is that when they were on a Ferris wheel, he was trying to force her to give him a inappropriate act from her here to his, you know. And she comes on TikTok and talks about it and says, you know, it didn't happen, but he was definitely pressuring her to while she was 13 and he was 16. And she shows screenshots, like this is from that day, April 3rd, 2022. So this is the girl, she was 13 on this day, and she says that he said he was 16, but that because this fake ID thing came out, she thinks that he was actually 17. So she starts out the video and she talks a little bit about their ages in it. So I just want to give like the context, because I see some people saying like she was 13, he was 17 in comments of other videos based on what this one says. But I just want to, so let's look at this real quick.
I was 13 in this picture, about to be 14 on May 1st. In this picture, I'm pretty sure Santos was 17, but he told me he was 16. So if he was 17 and if he was 17, then he lied and he told me he was 16. But if he actually was 16, then he told me the truth, because he told me.
Okay, so that part has got a lot of people saying she was 13 and he was 17, because she's like, I'm pretty sure he was 17. I think that she got confused because the fake ID thing came out and people were like doing the math. But if you do the math, if he is on January 1st, 2025, if he's 19, which that's what he's 19, then on April 3rd, 2022, that would mean that he could only be like 15 turning 16. So it's like the range of his age could be like the oldest version of 15 or like newly 16 on April 3rd, 2022. So that's his situation, was he just turned 16 and she was about to turn 14, but facts of the facts, he was 16, she was 13. And if you are Santos and you're in this situation being like, yeah, because technically it was like actually closer to 2 years apart than it was to 3 years apart. That's not great. Like, it never sounds great if that's what you're saying. But when you got this girl fresh off of a shift at Ulta and she's on TikTok telling a story like this, it's like, it's not just the age, it's like, it's a bad.
And I remember they ended up seeing us like kissing, and like I heard them say something. I was like, and then we were just still talking, and y'all, trigger warning, I'm not even shitting you right now. He pulled his, let me say in Ash terms, his pee-pee out on the fucking Ferris wheel. I'm not playing, bro.
He pulled his pee-pee out on the Ferris wheel. Here is like, listen, if you're a young man watching this, I don't care what your sexual orientation is, you gotta lock in. Not just a man, anybody. Do not, under any circumstances, let porn nuke your brain. That is the behavior of somebody whose brain has been nuked by it, and they think that that's how it goes. Do like an early kiss. Like, you are young. You should not be doing that. That is not right. That is bad. And to summarize the rest of the video, he was like, come on, you know, give it to, come on. And she's like, no. And he's like, oh, come on. Dude, like, I know he was 16. I know. That's like, you can't, like, especially when it's like a little bit more than even a 2-year age gap at that young of an age. You just turned 16 and you got a 2-year age gap with somebody below you. And by 2-year age gap, I mean over 2 years, because currently she's 13 and you're doing that while what? It is bad. Like, the people who are involved in this whole thing, like this whole circle of people with all these connections between them, like, it's just the more lore you learn, the darker it gets. And believe me, there is even more than this. I haven't even talked about Miss Gold. Oh my God. That's like Ash's friend / like business part of the weird. Even more lore with Santos, all those other guys. Like, there's other dudes, like prison inmates. There's like, and people are donating galaxies, an hour of your time working at Costco, going home being like, literally being like, that's for Ash. You just pieced out an hour of your life for this woman and this man. boy. Not to mention the people who were donating to Eli, you know, the guy with really brittle bones. My daughter has really brittle bones just like me. That's why when I punched her, her leg and hip broke. Oh my God, yeah, let me give an hour of my life to give that guy a galaxy for 5 seconds so we can go and then move on. Their brains are nuked by TikTok Live. The people who are giving them money's brains are nuked. Everybody involved here is just a nuclear wasteland of TikTok brain. And wading through it are Ash's 2 young daughters crying out for help just to be silenced in the midst of throwing up because of how much they're going through, and their mom going, Santos, he knows smell well. How the NooNoo smell? Girl, shut the fuck up. Okay, shut the fuck up. God, okay, anyways, I love you so much. Thank you for watching this stuff with me. Please subscribe.
How my NooNoo smell? Ask Santos, he knows smell well. So basically what the artist, Miss Trevino, is giving us there is a fascinating look into the human psyche of the olfactory sensation. I don't know if you saw this tweet by a published researcher on what the olfactory senses do to your perception of the world around you. And if her NooNoo is smelling well, then I suppose that one could perceive that her aura is well. And the lyric is more about the essence of the human soul than necessarily the NooNoo itself and its smell therein.